What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my blog here for high intensity training. Today is arm day, so I'll be working shoulders, triceps, and biceps, starting off with the tricep push down. Now, very important here, maintaining your elbows directly under your shoulders. I've seen this exercise being done incorrectly many times, many times. And I've seen people get creative with this exercise by doing some other form of variation. Keeping it simple, keep it basic, you will achieve the same amount of result, if not even better, by just doing the simple movement for what a tricep pushdown is intended for, and that is to fully extend the elbow at the bottom, engaging your triceps, and slowly changing direction, bringing it back up to a little bit past 90 degrees, and then repeating the process. So you don't want your elbows to move forward as the weight comes back up. There's a slight move or a slight transition forward as you extend your triceps and push the bar all the way down. But as you come up, you want to slide your elbows towards the back, almost behind your shoulders, if you will, as you bring the weight back up. This will ensure that you are fully activating and keeping constant tension on your triceps as you are progressing through your set. Again, pushing it to failure. This is my set to failure. I did not include my warm-up in the video. I just did a few repetitions of lightweight, maybe half of the amount of this weight, just to get my body ready. And that's it. So then immediately after the tricep push downs, we're going to move on to dips. And here, again, dips to failure, somewhere between 5 to 8 repetitions with a good control movement. Make sure that your change in direction is smooth and slow. You don't want any momentum. So as I'm lowering myself down, right here, I slowly push myself back up without using much momentum. And again, maintaining that constant tension on the triceps. So I've reached my point of failure, and that's it for the triceps. Now moving on to shoulders. So here I decide to do dumbbell lateral raises. Again, I'm working with 20 pounds here, doing it standing this time. And you guys will see what I'd like to do after I reach a point of failure or I should say a point of concentric failure, meaning on the positive phase, I can no longer lift the weight up. I'll show you a little trick that I like to do to continue my set and work only on the negative portion of it with dumbbell lateral raises. Doing dumbbell lateral raises, I think it's one of the best exercises to do when you're really trying to develop the round part of your shoulder, mostly the delts, which is on the side of your shoulder, and really give off that look of a bigger, more wider or thicker arm. So here we go. So I wasn't able to complete a concentric movement. So what I do is I lift the weight up like a hammer curl and then push him straight out and control the weight on the way down. And about 2 negative reps is more than enough. But I do like to drop sit on this exercise to continue that inroading in my shoulders. So I went to go grab, I believe, 10 pounds to finish this set with a drop set to see how many more reps I can get on the concentric movement, see how many more reps I can push up. And it seems like this is about to be it right here. Yep. And there it is. And that's it for the lateral raises. Now I'm going to move on to biceps. So For the biceps, it really doesn't take much. I stick with just 2 exercises depending what I like to do. Now, I really like to focus on barbell curls, so that's my main exercise that I like to perform for my biceps. And as you can see, the speed of movement is slow. I want to make sure that I'm recruiting as much muscle fibers in my bicep. Really keep that tension. Lifting the barbell all the way up to the front of my shoulders and really controlling and resisting that weight on the way down. The tension where it's at its highest is from right where you're reaching 90 degrees and slightly past that. As you can see, right where I'm getting stuck, basically. It's a great place to hold it there for a static contraction as well, in addition to reaching failure, which I tend to do here. And if you notice, I don't jerk the weight up. I don't try to swing it back up to get a few more cheat reps. I just leave it there. The next movement here will be a concentration curl, a preacher curl. So I do a single arm preacher curl with dumbbell here. Puts my shoulder in sort of a flexion mode, or my bicep here. I can really concentrate on squeezing the bicep as tight as I can when I bring the dumbbell up. But again, the tension is at its highest when I reach to that sort of 90-degree angle and past that on the way down. At this point, my bicep is really getting a tight squeeze and I'm reaching my point of failure. So I want to make sure I slow it down on the negative all the way. Once I know I can't lift the weight back up, my set is done and I move on to the next arm. And just keep the same principle the same. Slow speed of movement, a smooth, slow change in direction. Keeping tension on the bicep, squeezing all the way up as tight as it can, and very slowly bringing it back down. It's a great way to really work the peak portion of your bicep when you combine these 2 exercises, a barbell bicep curl or a preacher curl. Other times I like to combine a barbell bicep curl with concentration curl, which some of you have seen in the past. That's all it really takes. You don't want to overtrain your arms. Your arms get trained somewhat when you are doing compound movements while working your chest and your back. So you want to be careful not to be overtrained. That's why I like to space out my upper body and my arms, so my chest and back and my arm workouts, and give them time to rest in between. So that was it for my left arm. I have completed my bicep routine. Now we move on to finish up with shoulder press, dumbbell shoulder press. Again, I've seen this been done too many times with too much momentum. People just kind of bouncing the weight off their shoulders to try to get a few extra reps. You want to avoid that because you can cause injury. As the set progresses, your muscles still end up getting fatigued. So if you have that much weight or tension on your shoulders and it's getting fatigued, and it's coming crashing down onto your shoulder, you will definitely get an injury from that. So you want to make sure you control that weight at all times. So that's what I'm doing here. Making sure I'm controlling the weight as I push up. And I like to drop sit on this exercise as well. I don't do too much weight. I mean, I probably use 40 pounds, 45s. To really get the job done, but then I like to drop sit down to about 20 pounds to finish off the job. And again, really make sure that I've recruited as much muscle fibers as I could in my shoulders. This will be my finisher, and that will be it for the arms. So biceps, triceps, and shoulders doesn't take much. Workout entirely probably took me about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even 22 or so. Anyways, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow for more content like this. I will be posting an update on how it's been going and how it's been transforming my body doing this sort of protocol here.